I've got nothing against relief pitchers, but they do two things to the game. They slow the game down, and our relievers have been so dominant at the back end, they actually rob action at the end of the game. That quote was from the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, who has continued to plague baseball with pace of play rules the past few seasons. Manfred also went on to say that baseball might have to consider a rule that would limit the number of pitchers a manager could use in an inning. Yes, he actually said that. Not only is this contradicting to all of Manfred's new rules, since limiting the number of pitchers would also lead to longer innings, but the rule is just dumb. I'm sorry, I tried to keep it nice, but this is just insane. MLB wants a younger audience. They have been preaching this for a while now. Pace of play rules may help a little, but not as much as MLB thinks. There's more than just a fast pace of play that makes basketball so much more popular among the youth, and so far MLB and the players themselves have failed to acknowledge this. If you were to ask a random sample of people on the street who is LeBron James, most people could give you an answer of basketball player or something in that sort of form. I asked one of my friends who doesn't watch any sports whatsoever, who is LeBron James. He gave me the answer, the basketball player guy. I asked him who Mike Trout was. He replied, a fisherman. His reply of the fisherman was very alarming to me for a few reasons, but most of them being the fact that he doesn't know who he is at all. But player popularity has been a major factor in basketball taking over NFL among youth popularity. NFL doesn't have a clear guy that is the most popular with the general public. It could be Tom Brady, but it is nowhere near as close as LeBron James. This is where Major League Baseball has major problems. The MLB doesn't even have a Tom Brady popularity-wise. It isn't clear to anyone who's the most popular player. It could be Bryce Harper, but you could make cases for Kris Bryant and Aaron Judge and a few other players as well. There aren't very many things that MLB can do to fix this, but I have noticed a few trends among the NFL and the NBA. Number 1. Players being active on social media. Obviously, MLB can't force players to have a social media. Some guys just don't want to have a social media, which is understandable. But encouraging social media activity among players wouldn't hurt. Regardless of how you feel about the I will not shut up and dribble campaign that has made its way among basketball players a few weeks ago, the press coverage it got was undeniable. The coverage does not have to be political, but at least we need something. At this point, any press for baseball is good press. Number 2. More coverage on general sports networks. The running joke that Major League Baseball gets practically no coverage on ESPN has some truth to it. Go ahead and turn on SportsCenter for an hour to see how much they talk about baseball. Considering what time this video is being written, just a few weeks into the season, you think MLB would get pretty good coverage. The NBA and the NHL are full swing in the playoffs, so I would expect them to get more coverage. The NFL offseason is pretty much dead at this point. I would expect little coverage. I mean, it still is the NFL. And since the MLB season is now in full swing, the amount of coverage for the MLB should be somewhere in between the NFL and the NBA. However, reality is, MLB may get like 5 minutes of highlights before they go on to discuss the NBA playoffs or rumors of Odell Beckham Jr. getting traded, even though that happened like 3 weeks ago. Number 3. More personalized player products. A lot of basketball fans own a pair of Jordans or Kobe's or some sort of signature player shoe. Now let me ask, how many of you own a pair of Bryce Harper cleats? Or Mike Trout cleats? My guess is not a lot. To be fair to baseball, they will never have the kind of shoe culture that basketball has. The ability to wear your favorite player's shoe anywhere will be something that basketball will always have, and baseball won't. I don't expect anyone to wear a pair of baseball cleats out to a nice restaurant. Nike took a step in the right direction when they announced the Mike Trout turf shoe, but advertising for these shoes and Bryce Harper Under Armour gear has been very little to non-existent. But having signature shoes for guys like Posey, Bryant, Machado, and Judge would help the cause. Number 4. More modern media coverage. For the newest generation, TV no longer counts as modern media. Children are spending more time on YouTube and other social media platforms than TV. Currently on YouTube, basketball has an overwhelming presence of NBA YouTubers. My personal favorite being Zach Lee, who runs a daily show covering all the news and highlights from yesterday's games. It is a great way to get all of my basketball news, usually within the span of 10 minutes. But there's more than just Zach Lee. There are also other YouTubers such as Mike Korzemba and Legend of Winning. But for baseball, there is practically nobody. I'm discussing MLB YouTubers specifically, not MLB The Show YouTubers. I mean, there is myself, and other than that, there isn't really anyone actively posting or anyone I've seen yet. MLB should be encouraging these creators. After all goes back to MLB's own product. It is clear as day that MLB wants an increase in younger fans. MLB doesn't realize that a majority of the audience isn't on TV, it is on the internet. Well, I'll partly take that back. MLB has somewhat started to introduce having a weekly game on Facebook Live, but out of all the platforms you choose Facebook Live, my parents barely use Facebook anymore. MLB, specifically Mr. Manfred. The game is fine. I mean, there could be a few rule changes that vary year to year, like the slide rule, but with the current pace of play rules, it is just pissing off your most hardcore fans. So stop shooting yourself in the foot and realize it isn't the game, it is everything around it. And Mr. Manfred, I will be here if you will like to have a chat. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you are subscribed, be sure to turn on bell notifications. I've gotten comments from a few of you saying that my videos don't show up in your sub boxes anymore, which is alarming. So turn on bell notifications and you will be notified every time I upload a video. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.